It's hard to judge because to me both are really lagging behind and over-communicating. So it's more a competition about communication. For instance, they're comparing who got the most attendees to their FinTech weeks, which is to me a ridiculous metric. I mean, definitely both Singapore and Hong Kong lag behind. I'm not even talking about the US or China, but even behind London, Paris, or Tel Aviv for sure. Probably even behind Tokyo. And in the case of Hong Kong, there are several reasons for that. Well, first of all, the local culture, like very conservative culture. Most of wealthy people here got rich thanks to very, very safe businesses like international trading or real estate. So they don't really understand those new investments in startup where you need to pour millions. Don't expect any return for 4 to 6 years with a 90% chance of you losing your bet. And also there is a lack of precedent. Like if you look at US, Europe, Japan, there are, or China as well actually, there are very famous examples of billionaires who created their fortune out of nothing, building a startup on the internet in the 90s. I mean, in Hong Kong, the only example like this would be the creator of 9gag, that is not very famous. So there is no precedent that would make people more confident or more attracted by it. I mean, the current trend we're seeing is improvement of processes and automation of processes. And the hottest technologies everybody is talking about at the moment, like blockchain, IoT, big data, all those AI also obviously, all those technologies aim at automizing and improving processes. So probably what we're going to see in the FinTech was also lagging behind other types of financial industry was lagging behind other industries because of regulation, because of the conservative culture in that industry. All the innovation brought by internet, by mobile, and so on hadn't been brought to the financial industry. So FinTech started like this, just redoing what Airbnb or Uber had done for other industries. So that's what we're seeing at the moment. The next step for FinTech will be the adoption of new technologies like AI or blockchain that will aim at automatizing processes and improving them. So far in Asia, FinTech is, the only important country in FinTech is China. I think some other countries are getting more and more in the space, like especially Japan, but also in Southeast Asia, we're seeing more and more interesting attempts. It's hard to say because for the very particular aspect of the financial industry compared to the other is the regulatory aspects. And regulators in Asia, particularly, I think, regulators are always conservative, but particularly in Asia, they are ultra-conservative. And the fact that the market is also very atomized with very different regulations from a country to another makes it harder for FinTech startups to emerge in Asia. So I think that to me the main challenge for FinTech in Asia. So hopefully at some point we'll see regulators that will stop doing only communication and marketing and will really empower startups to emerge. Like, for instance, a very good example of it, I think, is the sandbox in Hong Kong. Sandbox, after the different sandboxes we saw in Tel Aviv, London, in New York, became a very trendy word, like especially in the FinTech space. So Hong Kong wanted its sandbox. The only thing they didn't understand is that by obligating startups to partner with the bank to be part of a sandbox, they're just killing the innovation, because if startups had needed to wait for banks to experience an innovation, there would have never been any innovation. First of all, they need to clarify the strategy. Like, we're hearing a lot about Hong Kong, that will be the the next fintech hub in Asia or even the next global fintech hub and so on. To me, the business model of Hong Kong has always been very conservative. To me, Hong Kong has always been like a kind of safe haven for international merchants, international investors to be able to do business in Asia. If we're talking about fintech, it means that you need to stop being conservative. You need to be at the forefront of the innovation and to take risks. So I think it's the entire mindset that needs to be reshuffled and to have a much more risk acceptance, much bigger risk acceptance. So by doing sandboxes that wouldn't need a bank to partner with. Also, it's hard to do in Hong Kong, but to have more incentives for people to invest in startups. So usually the lever that's used is tax. So you get tax discounts. So in Hong Kong you have more or less no tax, so it's harder to put in place. But the other thing is also to better use all the money that are throwing into the startup space. And we are discussing on our way to this office about Cyberport, like how many billions have been poured into Cyberport, and how come there is not even an MTR going there? I mean, it's a fabulous place. They're managing to bring more and more companies there, but if it's not connected to the rest of the city, it's useless. And well, we had the experience because we were incubated in HKSTP, and it was the same problem. Like, it was taking us an hour to go there.